Yep, it is that time of year. It is about to be January, and one thing I noticed is that there's this one VST that I never click on, and that is the Kia instrument. This is a free plugin by the actual brand, the car brand Kia. Yep, can you believe it? It's actually pretty good. This is what I'm going to be using for the rest of the video today. As you can see, I'm starting off with some kind of like loop, and right here I'm just adding some automations. Forgot which automation that was linked to, but later on I ended up adding this VCO. I also automated right here. I'm about to start automating the pitch glide for it. Yep, and those clips right there will be our slight pitch glides, which you can see right here. Now that cutoff was really something nasty. I liked it. I liked how growly it was. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna add an automation for this too. So it's going to be rising in every now and then. Actually, every, like, how do you call this? 16 bars, I'll say. Okay, so next I had, like, this little synthetic flute that sounded really nice. So I said, you know what, this is going to be a really good lead for what we got going on so far. I had to take off that noise. One thing about this plugin is that the noise is never ending, so as long as you don't have smart disable on, it will not turn off. And if you export it, it's gonna have 3 hours of just white noise. But anyways, I put on this randomizer, and then I changed the scale. I forgot what scale it's on right now. Arabic. It was an Arabic scale. So yeah. Now all I'm doing is putting on some effects. I put on some echo because it sounded nice, and then I put on a slight bit of sidechain just so we can go with the perk loop. Right here, all I did was stack that lead with a bass. And this bass definitely gave it more of like an 8-bit feel. I've been feeling very 8-bit lately. I don't know if that's just me though. Right here, I thought the bass sounded really cool if we faded it in with some high pass. And here's what the lead is sounding like. Again, very 8-bit. Catchy though, very catchy. Now right here I'm going for another perk loop just to add variation. Another interesting thing is that ARP, where the loop, it was looping, and then like because it looped right at the end of that tail, I ended up getting like this really nice sound from it. So I was like, you know what, I can definitely use this as some kind of like stab. So I ended up stacking the bass with the same exact progression, just on a higher octave, and it's the same instrument too. I was trying to give it some like kind of unique sound, but it wasn't really. I was kind of having trouble with this one because it was very loud, but it's like all the frequencies were loud. Okay, so right here I ended up making a mistake and I deleted the instrument that I was using at the beginning for the perk loop, and so I ended up having to reload it, but it was so much more worth it because look at what we got from this. Sounds like some kind of synthetic bongo, and it still had the pitch slider on it, so I was like, you know what, this is amazing. I'm gonna keep this. See, now we're getting something a little more ominous, and y'all already know how I feel about my anonymity. If there's a word. Yeah, so that ARP tail right there, I just had to do more with it. I ended up putting some supermassive on it to make it more ambient. And then I ended up taking one, making it unique, and then just upping it 100 cents just so I can get that that Egyptian feel. I'm Egyptian, by the way. Now this synthetic marimba here was just too cute. I had to use it. And I was like, this would be a great kind of like simple progression that we could use. All I did was put some crystalline on it to give it some kind of weird verby taste. I also added some Camel Crusher because when you're working with synths like this, like it's basically adding hot sauce to it. It needs it, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta add it. And I ended up moving the start time of the delay a little bit later to give it that delayed feeling, you know. So I took that same synth and I changed around the ADSR to make it sustain longer, so that way it could be a little more of a lead. And that's how I got this progression right here. Now right here, I'm just mixing it up, or not mixing it up, I'm just adding some effects to that. Yeah, I'll put some Camel Crusher, some chorus, some echo, and it's sounding like $1,000,000. Now I took that bass that we had earlier. I didn't like the womp that it had in the beginning, so I just adjusted the I believe it was the attack on both the frequency editor and the regular envelope itself, so that way we won't get that womp. We just get the down. Oh yeah, these little chirp sounds. I ended up turning these little chirp sounds into a lead just by adjusting the ADSR settings. I was able to get something very feely. Yeah, feely, because it got me in my feelings. Just listen to it. Again, I'm going through it, just putting some effects on it. I did put some crusher on it because I realized that it sounds a little bit like a guitar. So what I did was I added a shaper box and gave it this LFO that sounded very plucky to make it sound even more like some kind of riff. So that went really well. It made it even more feely. Oh yeah, I also lowered the octave so that not everything is on one octave, and just like that, a banger. The Kia Instrument. Wow, I cannot believe this is that one plugin that I just keep overlooking. Every time I load up my plugin bank, I just skip right over it, but damn is it a good plugin. And I would definitely, this is not sponsored at all, by the way, this is just something I came to the realization of literally today. I was like, wait, I've never used this plugin, so I decided I'm gonna just make a whole song with it, you know, see how flexible it really is. And you know what, the plugin is very as modern as it looks, is very retro-y, I guess. Nonetheless, you could definitely get some great sounds out of there and some great ambience, because it has all kinds of sounds of nature and all that good stuff. So yeah, Kia Instrument is a wid. It's definitely underrated, and I'll definitely not overlook it next time. So yeah, that was fun. If you enjoy, you already know what to do. I'm out.